Welcome back. And to continue this class, we need to focus now on the strategies, techniques, and approaches you can use as a counselor to support teenagers and to do your counseling properly and get results. These strategies we have used and we have results. These strategies are strategies that can help us get results, not just for teenagers and children. You can also use it for adults, but focusing on these ones of the young people, it can give you amazing results. I will just quickly list out some things and I'll go into full explanation. So I would like to mention this. Number one strategy is listen. Listen, empathize, direct, affirm, enlist, and refer. I'll take it again. Listen, empathize, direct, affirm, enlist, and refer. Now, I've talked about listening in our last class where I said we should listen to what they are saying and what they are not saying. As a counselor, we know that listening skills is our number one skill. That whenever you're having a session, you do the listening. Let your clients do the talking because they are the ones that have the issue and the concerns they want you to help them with. So let them do a lot of the talking while you listen. So let's pay attention to young people. Let's listen to them. Then empathize with them. We used to be in their shoes. Yes, we were once like them. So let's put ourselves in their shoes. There are certain things that we didn't go through, but they are going through right now. We didn't have the internet in our own time. Like, I remember in our own time, before TV comes on, it must be 4 p.m. But now, we carry TVs on our phones, you know. So what they are really dealing with are a lot. So let's empathize with them. Also, we need to be role models to them. You know, it's not nice that we are telling them what not to do, yet we are doing it. We need to walk the talk. So let's be role models to them. And as we are being role models to them, let's recognize the uniqueness of every child. Every teenage child you meet is unique. Working with them, we shouldn't be telling them, oh, see your brother, oh, I worked with your sister didn't take time to get through this. Why are you taking time? Like, you're not comparing them. No, every child is unique and we have to treat them uniquely. Even identical twins, they are all unique. So now, as a counselor, recognize their uniqueness. The approach you use to deal with teenager A may not work for teenager B. Yes. So you have to recognize that and treat them, follow their pace, that in the process, just focus on each child and deal with them, according to their uniqueness. Then you have to create a trusting relationship with them. One thing with teenagers is that they will try you. They will try you. They must trust you to work with you. You can be in their midst talking, they are doing their own. They are talking. When you are done talking, they know what they want to do. But once they trust you, and how do you get them to trust you? You have to build rapport with them. Of course, we do that generally in counseling. Build rapport with whoever you're going to meet with. But this one, you need to take it deeper. How do you build rapport with young people? You come down to their level. Your dressing, the way you speak. I'm not saying you must speak foully or something, that's like them. No, that's not what we're saying. We have to come down to their level, connect with them, find the common ground with them. So when I meet teenagers, I'm not expecting good morning, my good mornings all the time. I encourage them to greet, but at the same time, high five. I do high five, chop knuckle. Like, I do some things that can help me to easily connect with them. So we must do that. Create a trusting relationship by creating a rapport. And once they buy into you, once they are comfortable around you, they will tell you everything. In the presence of rapport, Everything is possible. And please, when you are interested in them, be genuinely interested in them. They like it when people are interested in them for a genuine reason. Because, sometimes we want to be interested in them in order to get information we can feed their parents or information we can feed their school. No. You want to help them. Let it be that you're doing whatever you're doing to their best interest. I always make it clear to my learners or teenagers whenever I come in contact with them. I said, see, whatever we are doing is to your best interest. See, let me tell you, if you're not here in the school, we will not be here. If you're not here, I will not be sitting down here. So I always make it clear to them. It's all about them. Let them know that the reason why we want them to, do well, behave well, is for their own good. Give them examples of some adults that are struggling because they didn't live their teenage stage life well. So let them understand that it's for their own good. Their parents have lived their life. So imagine a child saying, I'm going to do this, do that, so that so thing will happen. And I used to tell them, you want to do this, do that. So the person you want to get to has lived their life. They are not writing exam again. They are not looking for any certificate again. They are the one that needs help. So don't do things in order to hurt your parents or to hurt your teachers without knowing that you're undoing yourself. So let's help them understand that whatever they're doing is to their best interest. Now, let's look at this approach, this technique I call play therapy. Play therapy, counselors, in the place of play, everything is possible. Play. Remember that play is like a language, is a nature of children to play. Now, play therapy is an approach most people think is for young people, but we can also use it for adults. Even you as a counselor, if you don't know how to play, I tell you, you may not be able to engage teenagers in play therapy. So you walk into my office, you see a lot of playthings, you see toys, you see building blocks, you see Jenga game, you see all manners, board games, puzzles, and sometimes people will ask me, is this a nursery class? I said, no, all these things you're saying are therapy tools. So play therapy works a lot. It gives a lot of results. So sometimes when they bring, even if someone says you need to see a counselor and they bring the child to you, there will be this resistance. They may not want to open up. Okay, is there something you want on this? They'll say, no, I'm fine. My mom said I should see you. So how do you break that? So sometimes when they come to my office, I don't even start conversation with why they brought them, whether a teacher referred them or a parent brought them. I don't go into details. I try to know them connect with them, build rapport with them. And what do I do next? I have some games in the room. What, do you like board game? Okay, so which one is your, Monopoly. Should I get it? Do you mind? And they are looking at me like, my mom brought me here. I did something and they wanted to counsel me. And this lady is saying that I should play a game. So sometimes they can be relaxed. Then I'll bring the board game. I say, okay, have you tried this game? Maybe you should learn. I like this game very well. Should I teach you how to play? So sometimes they are coming to, my mom has reported me to the counselor, and now I'm here. Counselor is bringing game. I'm not bringing in a conversation. We'll first of all play. Then in the place of that play, conversations will begin. And next thing, we'll go into what brought the child. Somehow you bypass that conscious resistance. I've met with teenagers that came for counseling and they made up their mind from the beginning that they were not going to say a word. But guess what? Before they left my office, they were smiling, gisting, asking me, "Ma, when am I meeting you again?" And for me, that's a game changer. Play therapy is you use toys, you can use games, you can do art therapy, like make them draw. Just something random, and it's not expensive. Let me tell you. A lot of us think, when you hear play therapy, you're going to buy toys, you're going to buy this. It's actually not expensive. You can make do with what is available in the environment as a play therapy tool. So play therapy as a counselor, when you want to use play therapy, we have non-directive play therapy and directive play therapy. Non-directive is a situation whereby, I can tell the young person, oh, I have games here. Please go ahead and pick anything. Feel comfortable. Just take any game. I'm not the one determining what they will play. I just allow them to pick up what they want to play with, or whatever they want to do. Let's say I have watercolor, arts, drawing sheet and all that. They are to just make up their mind and pick up anything. So sometimes I see some of them, they want to draw, and once they start, I allow them. Then after a while, I'll begin to ask questions based on what they are doing. Okay. Now, the directive one is the one I'll be the one to determine what the child will engage in. I'll not say, oh, okay, today we're going to go to the sun. We are stepping out. We're going to the sun to do some things. So I'm the one that will determine, because I know what I want to look out for. But for non-directive, at their own pace, they pick anything they want. But you have to observe. Okay, like one of the cases I handled, the person drew something. I gave them sketch pad. The child to draw and drew his family, father, mother, and him and his brother. But guess what? He drew the father's head big. So I noticed that the father's head was big. I said, oh, okay, what are you drawing? He said, oh, my family. I said, really? Where is your dad? Oh, this is your dad. This is your mom, your brother. So where are you? He pointed. At the point, I said, oh, but your dad's head looks big. He said, yes, my dad has a big head. Immediately I spotted that there must be something wrong, and I started telling me, okay, so tell me why your mom's head is this shape and your dad's head is this shape. And I said, all I know is that my dad's head is too big. My dad has a big head. I noticed the way he was answering was with bitterness or with anger. Said, okay, after the thing, I said, okay, you know what? Let's talk about daddy. He didn't want to talk about him. Eventually, in the next session, before the next session, I spoke with the mother to find out where I noticed that their father was transferred out of the states where they reside. And guess what? Before their father left, their father did not have any conversation. He didn't tell them. You know how they transferred, his office transferred him outside the state. He didn't deem it fit to prepare the children, like carry them along to say, oh, so there's going to be changes in the house. I will not be available for a period of time. I'll be coming in maybe once in a month or once in 2 months. Or such a conversation did not happen. So all of a sudden, the man just cut off. And next thing, he wants to call on phone to talk. So the child was really acting up based on that. I couldn't have asked a question. The mother just noticed that the child has been withdrawn for a while. If I had started a question like, oh, are you okay? Is there any problem in school? I'm not sure we would have gotten to that point. But in the place of play, the guy was able to draw something from the drawing. I picked it. So play therapy can give you results. You can use it to work with children, that experience trauma or are experiencing trauma, labeled children that are no longer getting involved with social activities. You can use play to spot them. In the place of play, you can spot them. Your work as a counselor is just to observe. Observe whatever they're doing. Whether you are directing or non-directing, just observe what they're doing. When you observe, ask questions. If you spot any negative attitude or any negative statement or any negative, like the way I spotted that big head, you may flash your torchlights a little bit more on it. So children, remember, play is their nature. Even young people, you have to understand the kind of play teenagers play. You don't expect them to go to the sand and be rolling on the floor like the way you do with younger children, but just have that understanding. I believe we'll give you a list of some of the play tools you will need for counseling teenagers. Okay, so this play helps them to express the feelings, the hidden feelings. It helps them to express it. So I can, if I'm having a group session with teenagers, I can just tell all of them, all right, so you all have sketch pad in front of you. I need you to draw out how you feel. Draw your feeling. You will see just draw your feeling or draw your thoughts, like what you're thinking right now. Once you say it, watch out of what they are doing, and at the end of the day, you ask questions based on what they have drawn. Now, I will go straight to talk about another approach that can help you as a counselor to get result aside play therapy. We have person-centered strength approach. So for person-centered approach, we believe that every adolescent or every teenager has an inner strength, internal resources needed for growth, needed for a change to happen. And because they have it, they have those strengths. For us to work with them successfully, we have to help them to identify the strength and get the strength out so they can get good results. Rather than focusing on their negative problems or their negative behaviors or their weaknesses, we focus on their strength because they have the strength to heal from whatever they have been through. They have the strength to change their negative attitude to positive ones. They have the strength. Our work is to help them get that strength out. A lot of young teenagers don't even believe they have any strength at all. It's only weaknesses, because everybody is their weaknesses that we are all broadcasting. We are announcing their weaknesses. We are always disciplining them, based on their weaknesses, but nobody is talking about their strength. So this particular person-centered strength-based approach will focus on their strength and use it to help them get results. So instead of focusing on their negative or their weaknesses. So I'm going to outline the 5 core principles of person-centered strength-based approach. Number 1 is unconditional positive regard. Number 2, empathy. Number 3, congruence. This empathy is coming over and over again. I've mentioned it earlier that we should empathize with them. Okay, so congruence is number 3. Strength identification is number 4. And the 5th one is collaboration over authority. Collaboration over authority. Now, let me quickly explain them. Unconditional positive regard. Every human being must be accepted for who they are unconditionally. Not because of the color of their skin or the way they talk or the way they look. As a counselor, accept every teenager that will come your way for who they are. See, forget about all the things they have told you about them. This child is like this boy has done this boy has done that. You first of all accept that child for who they are. Okay? Then empathize. Empathy. Putting yourself in the child's shoes. Do you know that most of these young people, when they go through stuff, they don't open up to adults, because some of them will tell an adult what just happened to them. An adult will open up their mouth to say, you caused it. What took you there? Were you not the one that carried yourself to that place? If you had not gone there, they wouldn't have done this to you. Instead of us, first of all, empathize with the child. We first of all blame them, push, like they are trying to open up with the issues they are dealing with, and we just blame them. And see, blame game. Nobody wants like it when people blame you for for what happened. So we're supposed to empathize. So the core values for this, one of the core principles is empathy. Always put yourself in the shoes of others. Always put yourself in the shoes of others. How I explain empathy. So there's this thing happening around us that when something happens to somebody, everybody's talking about it. And I say, they should forgive now. It's not easy, they should forgive. But when it now happens to your own person, that's when you will now know what the other person is feeling. So that forgiveness in your matter, you won't even want to hear anybody tell you forgive. So that's how empathy is. Try and empathize with people. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine if it's my child, this thing happened to. What will be my response, or what will be my reaction? So let's always put ourselves in other people's shoes. It will help us to show kindness or be compassionate with them. Then, congruence. We must agree. There must be an alignment. Must agree. There must be that point of agreement. You can't give a result to someone who you do not agree with, who you don't align or agree, with, because that's when you can pick their strength. Okay, I've worked in the classroom before, and I devised a means that helps me to pick the strengths of young people working with me. Working in a secondary school, I used to have children. I profile children a lot. Even without giving them formal assessments, I profile them. You see those ones that they know how to, they have a lot of followers. If you don't know how to engage them, they can mess your class up. So knowing how to engage, knowing, instead of seeing that child as a disruptive person, can you see the strength in that child? If this child has this number of followers, it means this child has a leadership quality. How do I harness that leadership qualities I've seen in him? So instead of, I may not make him class captain because I wouldn't want him to, of course. I may not make him class captain, but I must find an assignment to give that child to engage him, because it's his strength, it's his area of strength. You have to leverage on this. So you help children to identify their strength. And once you keep telling them their strength, I know a child that will always say, I called the child, I said, oh, I want to talk with you. He said, hey, ma, have they reported you to me? They say I talk too much. They call me radio without battery. I said, no, nobody has reported it to me. I'm even calling you because I saw something you have and I want to mention it to you. You say, oh, really, ma, what is it? I said, do you know that God has blessed you with your mouth? You see, bless me with my mouth. Ha, man, no, this mother is always putting me in trouble. I say, oh, the mouth has been putting you in trouble. I say, it's because God has blessed you with it. You say, okay, ma, please, let me explain. A lot of people have been telling me that my mouth is too sharp, that this mouth can kill me one day. I said, okay. What I'm trying to say is that God has given you strength. This power your mouth carry. God has given you, it's easy for you to express yourself. So you have your way with words. You can convince people to do things where you speak. God has given you that you have oral prowess. Let me put it that way. And the girl was feeling, wow, really? This is the first time I'm hearing this. So by the time I was done telling her, I now said, okay, the only issue is that you have not learned to manage it. You must learn to manage it, because when you manage it properly, you will get positive outcome. And she wasn't like, please, I like the way you're saying it. You're telling me. I said, yes. Do you know? I started giving her examples, giving her instances of what she could do in the school. She said, really? So, ma, you mean I can do a presentation? I said, yes. In fact, I have a presentation in 2 weeks' time. I think we should collaborate to do it together. So I will give you the topic. Go and prepare something on your own. I will give you an outline. So use it to prepare for something you're going to be present. He said, but ma, what if they laugh at me on the assembly? I said, nobody will laugh at you on the assembly. Prepare yourself. We'll do our rehearsals before you do your presentation. How about that? She said, oh, fine. The next day, the girl came with her presentation. I'm ready. I said, yes, I know. It's in 2 weeks' time. He said, yes. And before, every day she will come to my office to show me, to say, oh, please, ma, can I rehearse? Can I tell you what I prepared? Can I recite it? Because someone has pointed her strength. What everybody has been telling her will kill her, will put her in trouble. And when I told her how she can be successful in life with her mouth, how her mouth can open doors for her, she got excited about it. And guess what? That child has been doing presentations. She has never participated in debates before then. But after that conversation, that term, she started participating in debates. And teachers now started changing, their mind about her. So we have to help, get that strength out. Sometimes they don't know it. Some of them know it. Some don't even know. But let's help them, observe them, and get it out. Ask them questions that can help spot out their strengths. Then you collaborate with them instead of just authorizing them. What I did to that child, I would have just told the child that, you need to stop talking. You need to talk when you're talk only when you're allowed. But I said, can we do a presentation together? She felt so happy. In fact, the only fear she had then was people would laugh at her, people would judge her, because they always tell her that her mouth will put her in trouble. I said, no, we're working together. And so that's one of the principles. You collaborate with them to get the results. And you can map their strength, help them put their strengths where it can be used. One thing you have to note here when you are using this particular approach, you must note that you don't have to over direct a child. Don't shut them down, because they will shut down if they feel you are too much in control of them. Don't shut them down. Still allow them to walk at their pace. So yours is to just guide. Okay. Don't ignore their voices. They have their opinions. Always let them speak their opinions. Yes, they know their strength. We have helped them spot their strength, but they can be seeing something else as their strength. Let's not shut them down. Let's listen to their voice. And again, let's be real with them. I told you they like people that are genuinely involved with them. Let's not fake it, please. Don't fake it. They know. They will feel insecure, and they will not come close to you anymore. And if you promise them confidentiality, always put that clause that we put at the end of confidentiality statements, where we used to say confidential statements, where we used to say that whatever you say to us is safe. We'll keep your secret, except if your life is in danger or someone else's life is in danger. Let's always remember to put that exception. And if we want to release their information to anyone else, let's get their consent. They are children, quite all right, but they can give you, yes, their parents can give you consent, but they can allow that consent to fly. If a child says, I don't want to have a session with you, there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I will do is to do psychoeducation to convince the child to see the need for our session. Yes. Okay, so I will just round off again on this by saying identify strength in every teenager you're working with. If you're using these therapy tools, look for signs of the strength. If they don't know it and you can't see it, look for signs of it. Then reframe it and help them to journal their strength. So when I reframed that child's what she's used to is the trouble she could end up entering because of her mouth, but we had to reframe it by showing her the way, where that her strengths can take her to. So there are simple switches for strength-based phrases I'm going to be explaining to you now. Remember, we are talking about helping identify their strength. We can identify it, look for signs of it, reframe it, then help them journal it, teach them how to journal their strength. Then you can also ask strength growth questions, related questions to help get it. Now, there are statements that can put a child in a way that you may not be able to get through to the child. That's how I'll be mentioning some of them. So instead of saying, I learned you won't follow directions, you could say to a child, I learned you are a self-directed person. So the child will begin to look at it as strength, not a weakness. This child can never follow instruction. That they already it's more negative. But when you say, oh, I learned you're a self-directed person, the child will even begin to so we can help rephrase some of those statements, like, oh, you can't make friends. I learned you don't have friends in the school. You don't like making friends. Why not tell a child, I noticed that you prefer independent play or independence, use the word that can, more positive words instead of negative, or a word that can make a child feel less. Okay, instead of saying, we are having this conversation because you are struggling with transition, let the child know that what is happening, like you are benefiting from transition support. So I'm here to provide the support. You are here to benefit from the transition support we have available. Instead of saying, I learned you are struggling with transition. Okay, so Instead of looking at the deficits, can you say, okay, here are some of the strengths we've observed in you? Because I said earlier, if we keep focusing on their weaknesses, they will never see the strength. But when we focus on their strength and bring it to their awareness and help them understand how whatever it is a strength, it will help them to, do it more. So instead of saying, I learned you are obsessive with something, why not tell them that you learned they have special interest in something? There are certain words we use and we don't understand how those words make children feel. Okay? And if you understand the love language of children, those ones that words of affirmation are their love language, what you say to them matters so much. And I believe as counselors, we know the basic love language. So while profiling children, so you should have an understanding of their love language, because you need to also, when you're having sessions with them, you need to speak in line with a child that's word of affirmation is part of their love language. Of course, you have to learn to pick some kind of intentional with your words so that the process of healing can happen faster. Okay, so I'll mention a little bit about family therapy. As a counselor working with teenagers, you also have to work with family. You must have knowledge of family therapy, because at some point you may have to use family therapy. Play therapy may work at the beginning, but at a point family therapy will work. Why do we mention, why am I explaining family therapy here? You're working with a child and the issue the child is dealing with is happening at home. How do you do it? You work with the child, strengthen the child in your office, and the child goes back home and what is crying is still crying. So at a point, family therapy will have to come to play. Remember, you don't have one approach or one technique that will do it all. Combination of different approaches or techniques will give you the results. We call it eclectic approach, bringing different approaches together to get a result, because there's no one approach that can give you all the results. Yes, you can get certain results at certain points of your counseling session. So family therapy is a therapy where you focused on building family systems. If the root cause of the problem is from the family, at a point you may have to involve the whole family. Recently, I had sessions where at a point, by the third, fourth session, I had to involve family members, because I noticed they had roles to play, the parents, the siblings, and all. So family therapy, because when you do that, you're focusing on building a family that can help the results you want to get for the individual. If that child is built and the family, the root cause is not attended to, of course, when you are done, the child will go back. And that's why sometimes in the place of counseling, we get to some points where we have to move the child out of the environment. Like a case of an abuse, if there's an abuse and at a point you notice that the abuse is coming from the home front, of course, we have special homes that we collaborate with, where children can be taken while investigation and other things are going on. So family therapy can help you get the kind of results that can help the child you're working with. I've worked with a child where the child was battling with low self-esteem. So I noticed that whenever we go for weekend and return to school on a Monday, the child is taking 10 steps backward, until I got to realize that, oh, a lot happened at home. Of course, now as a school counselor, with the permission of the school management, we invited the parents and we had to address the issue, and we started seeing major result changes. All right. So we'll round off with this. Remember, the child is at the center of everything you're going to be doing with them. Make sure that child remains at the center of it. Make sure the child remains at the center. And when you are engaging a child, yes, family and friends have a role to play. You as a counselor, you have a role to play, but make sure the child, whatever you're doing, is to the best interest of that child. And let me tell you, when you work with children or young people, I always say this, that it's better to build a child than to repair an adult. It's better to build a child than to repair an adult. At that young age, a lot can still happen. A lot of changes can happen. When I work with adults dealing with addiction or dealing with different issues, it takes a longer time. But younger people, they are still malleable. Like that stage of their lives, a lot of changes can happen, and they still have time in their hands. So you can still, try to alter the foundation in order to get it right. But an adult, if we don't correct some of the things, some of the extremes, or some of the experiences or the behaviors or the areas of concern, and you allow them to grow into an adult, those challenges might be difficult to handle. So let's focus on young people. If you're interested in in working with them, please, I'm begging us. I know for you to be in this class, it means you are cut out to help them. You are a savior to them. God has sent you to them to help them. And whatever it will take for you to give them that amazing experience, that tomorrow they will look for you to thank you. I still have some of my clients, some of the students I worked with, some of teenagers I worked with long time ago, still coming back to remind me the impact, having sessions with me. One practically told me that anytime I want to do something bad, I'll be hearing your voice. Your voice will be ringing. When he said when we got to university, that sometimes you'll be under pressure to do certain things, that you'll not start hearing my voice. Those things I used to tell him, and that the will still keep coming until he came one day and said it. He said, please, can you allow me to address other students, that they should pay attention whenever you're talking? I said, okay, it's okay. As in those kind of results, for me, it gives us joy to see that whatever the seeds we are scattering now are bearing fruit. I have a lot of them that are already graduates, like done with NYSC, and they're asking, how can I help these young ones to understand? We were once like them and we struggled with this. Please, ma, any opportunity. 6 months and telling me any opportunities you want me to address younger people, please call me, I'm available. Because some of them feel where they felt, oh, you guys are over stressing it, you guys are overdoing it. But when they got out there in the real world, they saw the importance of what we're trying to do. So I will say to you, that counselor working with children and adolescents, don't be tired. Just keep touching these lives, just keep sowing the seeds, just keep helping, just keep impacting. Better to build a child than to repair an adult. Thank you.